Beginning our second round, Mr. Barrett, you have the floor for 5 minutes.
Commissioner, you confirmed that the RCMP raided the home of Mr. Christian Firth of GC Strategies, and you took the unusual step of informing the public of that search. Why?
Mr. Chair, I can answer that. That decision was based on the fact that it had been revealed publicly and that there was public visibility in front of that location that demonstrated the RCMP was there. So at that point, it becomes a fool's errand to attempt to cover the fact that we were there and that we were executing a search warrant there.
So are you able to take us through the scene? If Mr. Firth was present, Mr. Firth told us that the RCMP searched digital devices. Is that true? Are you able to confirm that that's in fact what happened?
I am not able to confirm at this time.
So Mr. Brock asked you before. I want to cover these questions again. Has Mr. Christian Firth been arrested?
I'm not going to confirm that.
Has he been charged?
As I stated earlier, if Mr. Firth had been charged, there'd be a public record of that.
So is there a public record of any charges being laid in relation to your investigation into the ArriveCan matter?
Not that I'm aware of.
We're in possession of an access to information document. It's A2023-00306. It's a memorandum for the clerk of the Privy Council from that department, from the PCO for the Prime Minister. The documents state that in January of 2023, the Prime Minister requested briefs related to ArriveCan. Is the RCMP aware of those briefs?
No, Mr. Chair, I'm not aware of any briefs.
So the document, Commissioner, goes on to say that the Prime Minister raised the issue of ArriveCan with the clerk of the Privy Council. Is the RCMP aware of those conversations and their contents?
No, Mr. Chair, I'm not aware of any conversations with the Prime Minister and PCO as well as the contents.
So if it's helpful to the RCMP, I'd be happy to furnish you with this ATIP. Would you like it?
Again, it doesn't involve us. We want to make sure that any document that's brought into investigation is done properly. So you could keep the ATIP for now, sir.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that those diligent folks from your agency who are behind you there caught that ATIP number when I offered it and can access that file. In the Auditor General's report, she noted that she referred information related to the cozy relationship of CBSA officials and certain vendors to the RCMP. Is that being investigated, Commissioner?
Again, Mr. Chair, we have multiple investigations ongoing based on information that were collected, so I'll leave my answer to that.
So it's important for Canadians to know if senior officials from the Liberal government are being investigated for criminality because there's been a reference made to you by an independent officer of Parliament. You said that you're unable to tell us who is the target of any of your investigations. So my question is this: if the evidence leads you there, will you commit to Canadians to interview any senior government official, including any minister, including the Prime Minister, if those conversations or interviews would be germane to your investigation?
Well, Mr. Chair, I can commit that our team will follow every single lead of investigation evidence and interview the people who we must interview in our investigation.
So that includes that would include anyone, including senior government officials or elected officials?
That, Mr. Chair, would include anyone.
On the topic of documents, Min Doan, who's the Chief Technology Officer, is alleged to have destroyed thousands of documents related to ArriveCan. Are you aware of those allegations?
Mr. Chair, I am not. I'd have to defer to Mr. Flynn, see if he is aware.
Again, that would be a matter that would or could be part of an ongoing investigation, and we would not be speaking to that today.
Could you tell us, with my last question, what penalties the intentional destruction of documents that are the subject of a criminal investigation, what are the potential penalties that someone would face if they were charged and convicted?
So in the context that you're asking the question, I believe it'd be inappropriate for me to get into details. However, I can very cautiously move outside of the context of the question, if you'll allow me to,
Please.
and say that anyone that takes any steps that thwarts a criminal investigation can face consequences for doing so. There are numerous offenses that could be applied in those situations, including obstruction. But I do not answer that in the context of the initial question. I just simply say, to try and aid you in your work today, that any destruction of documents that are relevant to a criminal prosecution with intent to interfere with that could face criminal consequences.
Thank you very much.